Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Chasing Tines, where today I take you along the story of Midnight, a 2023 giant North Carolina whitetail. Summer of 2023, I had spent a lot of time on the properties I already had, maintaining food plots, creating new food plots, putting in watering holes, and keeping up mineral sites. In addition to that, I was picking up several different properties because I had yet to find a buck that I really wanted to harvest yet for that season. Doing all of that, August rolls around, and I was still unable to find that mature buck that, I had that passion to chase. I had several deer that just needed 1 or 2 more years, and they would have been great. But like I said, August rolls around, and I'm in crunch time now. I don't have a deer to chase, and me and Logan are filming this, trying to film for this YouTube channel. And I said, "Look, man, I'll be your cameraman." He didn't want any part of that because we both need to film in order to get some content for y'all. So I said, okay. And he offered one of his properties that he hadn't been to in 2 years. He said, "Look, man, I don't know what's going on over there. Why don't you ride up there, put out a few cameras and see what's coming through?" So that's exactly what I did. Put some corn out, put a camera out, and within 2 days I had this giant buck come in. We called him Old Timer. He had a dagger out of his eye. He's just a really cool looking deer. I was like, yes, that is a mature deer that I want to set my heart on. Opening day, a neighbor down the road ended up harvesting him. So I was back to square one, still didn't have a deer to hunt. And I said, okay, Logan, I know you don't want me to, but I'm going to film you. And a week after season, this guy, the buck we named Midnight, shows up. A week after season, he's still in velvet, full velvet, hasn't shedded any. And he was running with another 8-pointer, a wide 8-pointer that had already shed. And running with that buck made Midnight look so much bigger because he was still in velvet. Instantly, I knew this deer was going to be a challenge. He was coming in consistently when he found the mineral site. However, he was coming in consistently at midnight, hence his name, and 3 a.m. And there's not much I can do there. And considering I didn't have any bedding on the property or near it, I knew that I was far away from his bedding if he was coming that late. And food sources, I had a very minimal food source on my property. I knew he was going to mess up. I just didn't know when. So I hunted every day I could.
Just got set up in the stand. Midnight showed up for the first time in daylight today at about 10 o'clock. And it had been raining all morning. And I said, I'm going to try to get in there right after the rain. The rain stopped right at 2. He was in here at 2:06. Or he was here at 2:02. So, that's the buck we're after tonight. Day 2 of hunting Midnight. It's currently about 2:30. Got in here earlier today.
We hunted midnight yesterday on the neighbor's property. I explained it yesterday, but a brief overview. Midnight has been coming at night, every night, on the original property that we had permission. So, a funny story on how I met the neighbor, but if we end up harvesting midnight, I'll get in with that. But basically, I met the neighbor, talked with him about hunting his property. His property is a little bit smaller than the current property that we were on, but we're just trying to figure out midnight. We've only had him daylight twice, and it was within the same day, and it was this year. So after those daylight attempts, I really started to get discouraged again. This deer, this season was just tough for me, and this deer I couldn't really figure out. I was picking up properties around the area, trying to figure out if anybody else seen them, talking to other hunters. Just a deer I could not figure out for the life of me, and I started getting discouraged because this deer started going back to his nightly routine where he was coming in at 12 and 3, 12 and 3 every night. And there was one evening where I was checking trail cam pictures, and he was there just after shooting, like I'm talking 5-10 minutes after. And I said, oh, and it was November 10th. And I said, ooh, I need to be in there tomorrow. So next morning I went in. I was talking to my dad. I showed Dad the pictures, and my dad was like, look, the rut's about to kick in. These deer are on their feet. They're trying to find the first hot doe. They're chasing already. You need to be in there. It was raining all night, and it was supposed to stop right at daybreak. So I said, all right. So I went in there, and lo and behold, midnight comes in chasing a doe. I've been sitting there all morning, and it was probably about 9:30 when they finally came in. I was about to get down. I was going to get down at 10 o'clock. And so I was sitting there. I was discouraged, as every hunter can get. And this doe comes running in, and he comes running in right behind him. And at the time, I had an older camera, a different camera. And I went to press the button, and I didn't record. I took a picture. So he comes running in. I get the rifle up. I press what I thought was record at the time, and it took a picture. And I had the window I had because he was running through a very thick area. He was running, I think he was 80 yards from me. Out of a small window, I thought the camera was on him. I squeezed. He dropped dead in his tracks. Look at the camera, realize it wasn't on, and the story picks up from here. Dude, I just smoked him. I couldn't get the camera ready. He came in, tracking a doe. Oh my God. Oh my God. He dropped. He turned, maybe went 3 yards and fell. Oh my God. I gotta call my dad. Call Dad.
Yeah.
I smoked him.
Smoked what?
The big buck.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's he at?
I literally just shot, and he fell dead in his tracks.
Send me a picture.
I'm still up in the stand.
All right, take a couple deep breaths.
I know.
Send me a pic.
All right. Call Logan.
Okay.
Bro, hello?
You can, hey.
I just smoked him.
Did you?
Yeah, I just smoked him.
No shit, no you didn't.
He fell dead in his tracks, dude.
Are you serious?
Yes.
What
Oh, it was probably an 80-yard shot. I couldn't get it on camera because he came running in with a doe and he just stopped and I was like, it's now or never.
No, dude.
All right, guys. So, walk back in here from the truck. There's my camera right there. And then my stand is on that tree right there. And there he lays right there. Zoom it on in. See that white belly. See those tines sticking up. Guys. So unreal. Oh my god. It's kind of thick through here. Look at this, guys. Oh my god. That's him, baby. So guys, I'm sorry to disappoint y'all that the film shot or the kill shot was not on film. I mean, he dropped. It was a 30-06 that I shot him with, and I was extremely excited. I pressed what I thought was the record button, but with that camera, you have to hold it, is what I learned. And this was my first time ever filming a deer hunt with a camera. This was my, it's the first time I ever tried to get a kill shot on film, so I apologize. But, I do really want to stress that if you have good buddies like I had Logan, work together with everybody. Without Logan, there's no way that this season would have ended the way it did for me. I did end up shooting another mature buck on my family farm. That was really more of a coal deer, and that video will be coming out soon. It's Pops. But yeah, I mean, thank you to Logan. I mean, this is the biggest deer I've ever shot. So without him, that wouldn't have been possible. So y'all stay tuned. We got a lot more down the pipeline to come, and hope y'all enjoy them.